cherish all the time you spend, you tuned in to. It's time again to cherish all the time you spend, you tuned in to. It's the number one podcast. The topics of discussion when we broadcast. So all them artificial man jokes, we do it natural from the concrete to a public standpoint. Real, wherever you're from, life is coexisting, but to know the real, you just gotta listen. Wherever you're from, life is coexisting, but to know the real, you just gotta listen.
What up, everybody, and welcome to the 52 Scott Podcast. This is For Women Wednesday. I'm your host, Freddie G, joined by my co-host, K Money, Slash, and Comedian 96. Collectively, we are the Mind of Men. Don't forget to follow us on X, formerly known as Twitter, at 52 Scott Podcast. On Instagram and Facebook, the 52 Scott Podcast. And for all my YouTubers, don't forget to like and subscribe. And welcome to another Women Wednesday. Okay, if you are a day one listener of the 52 Scott Podcast, you may recall the following Women Wednesday episodes. Episode 3, Women, Why Are You Single? And episode 38, Why Men Are Choosing the Single Life. If you haven't listened to those episodes, I encourage you to do so. Now, with that being said, I would be remiss not to address those that cannot find a partner, a mate, a significant other, or whatever synonym you want to use. Nevertheless, I believe most women can find a man. The question is, can they keep him? I also believe there are men who are single by choice. However, there are a lot of men and women who are lying to themselves and to others by saying that they're single by choice. No. You're single because don't nobody want you. They don't want you because you're damaged goods. Now, a lot of guys use the phrase damaged goods to talk about a female. Newsflash, females aren't the only ones who are damaged goods. There are a bunch of guys who are considered damaged goods. Now, let me be clear. There are a number of things that can classify a person as damaged goods. Some of the things only apply to females, and some of the things only apply to males. However, there's one thing that applies to both genders, and that is your mentality. A damaged mentality can come from traumatic experiences, chronic stress, or other adversities a person may face in life. It can impact your thoughts, your emotions, your behavior, and even your physical health. In translation, life be lifing. The way you think, the way you process things, and the way you interpret things can turn a person off. And for those reasons, don't nobody want you. Now I know before jumping into a relationship, you gotta vet a person, and that person gotta vet you. So if you are single and it's not by choice, and you desire to be in a relationship, ask yourself, what's the issue? Why am I single? Let me repeat that. If you're single and it's not by choice, and you desire to be in a relationship, ask yourself, what's the issue and why am I single? Now, if you're lucky enough to find that special someone, in some way, shape, or form, they become your representation. So when people see them, they see you. Now, with that being said, fellas, excluding lack of money, lack of material things, and blatant disrespect, in your opinion, why is it hard for some men and women to find that special someone?
Shit, their attitude's fucked up. I would think
that's mainly one of them. And I'll just say this: I don't know how guys act for certain things, but I know how women act for certain things. And it seemed to me like sometimes they are overly aggressively upset about something small. They'll make a mountain out of a molehill. I know y'all have probably heard of that before. But what that basically says is you've taken this little small issue and blew that hoe up to mountain size.
Bigger than what it needs to be.
Bigger than what it should be.
A major issue.
All because your understanding of what it is. Either your understanding is not good or you just not accepting this coming from me. And what I need to know is, here's a line that I've adopted. Does my what is it called? Presence upset you, or does my absence make you happy? See, that's how we gonna get to where we need to get, because once I understand that, if you upset for me just for no reason, or you got an attitude, I don't understand that, because friends don't treat friends like that.
I like that, Slash. Repeat that if you don't mind,
So
bro.
does my presence upset you, or does my absence make you happy? Which one? Because when I'm in your presence, you mad.
I'm gonna call him Aristotle from
But
now.
when I'm not, are you like this with everybody, or is it just me? This is what's gonna help me understand.
Exactly.
So as long as you doing what you doing and I'm trying to figure it out, the only thing you really doing, you pushing me somewhere else.
Exactly.
Yep.
Now, I was there. I like you. I gave it a shot. And I gave it several shots, but you constantly, you're not backing down from that part. So I don't understand where we are. I don't understand where we are. Is it that, what is it about me that upsets you so much? This is how a normal person feels. Somebody who's given a chance, this is how you feel. But if you're not given a chance, it's like, I don't give a damn how you take this or how we make this. So the whole thing is, if she's in that stage to where everything or something so small upsets her to the point, I'm pretty much like, you know what, I don't got time, little mama, because this ain't what I'm hip. You know, at a certain age, you're too old for all that drama.
Yeah.
You're going to be single forever if you're not paying attention to what's being said. Here's the thing. Most women, when you have these situations and issues with women, they're listening not to understand. They listening to respond. That is a big problem for men. Ladies, let me help you understand. If you're not listening to your man to figure out the issue and understand what he's saying, and when I say understand, that means you could put yourself in his shoes and get the picture. If you're not doing that, if all you're doing is listening to respond with something else negative, y'all not gonna be together long.
No.
Because men don't like that.
No.
And women mistake that for being a bad bitch. No, you a bad attitude bitch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ain't nobody got time for that, man.
Attitudes.
I would say, this is the example I like to use. As women get up in age, I don't know if it's self-consciously or if it's they've been scorned so many times or burnt so many times. I use this example with a lot of women. I say, when you meet a woman a little bit up in age, and sometimes younger too, because they could have been scorned a lot as well, you can bring a woman flowers, just using this for example, every day at 7 p.m. 7 p.m. I bring her a rose. 7 p.m. 7 p.m. 7 p.m. 7 p.m. I can do that for a month. And instead of enjoying our time, you're waiting for an F-up. So the day I bring them at 7:30, see, this the shit I'm talking about right there. I knew you wasn't no good. Baby, I'm sorry, it was traffic. I don't give a damn. You ain't wait a minute. It's traffic. You ain't listening to what I just said. I just told you it's traffic, but you still got the rose, boo. But you're going to make a big argument. That ain't the point. Yeah. That ain't the point. Oh, you know what? That's okay. Get your dumb ass on. I ain't got time.
You know, women forgot that men's happiness matters too in a relationship.
Well, that's just it. I don't think, people, I'm saying people, but I don't think anybody other than a man actually considers our happiness. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's the problem.
Yeah.
They don't consider the man being happy.
It doesn't factor or it doesn't matter.
He's supposed to be excited with whatever you bring to the table. Now, because this is not the food I'm trying to prepare at my table.
Right.
I don't want the negative food over here. If we can't have a positive meal and we can't feed each other positively, we're not going nowhere.
Yeah, that's the old saying about the happiness. You know, men will sacrifice their happiness for a family.
Yeah.
But women will sacrifice their family
For happiness.
So now, those were great points, by the way. All three of y'all. Those were great points. And I'm on board with all of it. But I noticed that that was about women.
Right.
Before you continue, Fred G, because I did want to make one comment, and I wasn't going to just focus it on females, because I think it happens with both sexes.
Yeah.
Where we can self-sabotage a relationship.
Yeah.
You know, and that's because
When you say we, meaning men.
men and women.
Okay.
I'm speaking in general. Men and women can self-sabotage a relationship. One, because, well, it could be for a variety of reasons, but a lot of times you hear because they're not used to what they could have a good man or a good woman, but they're not used to it, so they end up self-sabotaging a relationship because it's too good to be true.
Right. They can't understand.
Yeah.
So okay. So with those, you said both men and women.
Right.
And prior to you mentioning that, K-Money, you guys made good points. Slash, you came up with a hell of a
Yeah, that's a T-shirt.
yeah, man.
Yeah, line.
Yeah, I've been trying to promote that lately.
Yeah, that's good. I
Yeah.
like that.
Is my
Your mantra, or
Your
whatever.
assessment.
your thing.
yeah, that's it. I want to say it again.
Go for it.
Please
I
do.
was going to ask you.
Does my presence upset you, or does my absence make you happy?
yeah. I
Once
like that.
you can figure those out,
Yeah.
Now here's the thing: if you ask a woman that, and she can't answer it, she ain't the one. Because you supposed to be able to tell me, I love your presence,
Yeah.
your absence. You know,
I hate it when you leave.
Yeah, the response should be
Damn,
able to, she
that's
should be able to
damn.
deal. She could deal with you.
Yeah.
this is the line, fellas.
Hey, to all the listeners out there, don't y'all steal Slash's
It's
slogan, man.
I'm telling you, because guess what? If you do, I'm a copyright owner.
It's already copyrighted. He
coming
already
after
got
you.
it copyrighted.
It's already
So-
copyrighted.
Now, my point I was trying to make, though, those are good points in regards to women. But come on, man. We're part responsible for some of this.
Now-
Why are there some men? Why is it hard for some men to find that special someone?
Some men, and I'm going to say this, not from my point of view, because I'm not that dude. But what I do know is some guys, they want more than one woman. That causes conflict between his conversation with the woman that he having, because his mentality is, okay, you just won. It's another one over here I'm trying to go after. If you're not the type of guy that wants to settle down, then what you need to do is be open to these women and tell them, hey, I'm not trying to be tied down.
I got community.
You know what I'm saying? Just go and tell them, be honest. And so our fault sometimes is we don't tell the truth.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say another thing. And actually, this is on me. I will take the blame for this. We'll stop talking to a person for a stupid reason. This girl, I ain't not gonna say her name, but she was a fitness girl, very strong, very, very strong, beautiful too. And when she hugged me so hard, like a bear hugged me. And I was
She
in my
was hugging
mind,
a bear. Huh? She thought she was hugging a bear.
I used to. In my mind, I'm like, nah, this girl might beat my ass one day. And the girl was gorgeous. I look up a year later, she is married. Well, 2 years later, she's married. So sometimes we can give up very easy on something, or stop talking to someone for a very stupid reason, something that could be fixed.
I think for me, I look, and not to say I'm looking for faults in nobody. I'm just paying attention to what you're doing. And when I see something that turns me off, it's hard now.
Yeah, because
to
you're like
get me-
in your mind, you're like, can I be with this forever?
But
And it's like, no.
listen to that. Listen, that's a red flag, fellas. Listen to your first mind when it's something that a woman does that makes you uncomfortable, then don't sit there and allow that to continue to happen, because guess what? She's going to keep doing it. That's who she is.
Right.
And it's going to keep making you uncomfortable, and it's going to cause friction in a relationship if you choose to follow up on that. So just watch that,
Ask yourself, can I deal with this? Like you said, community
Right.
says, can I deal with this?
Right.
Forever, yeah.
And here's another good thing that I want to tell guys, because a lot of times guys will get married and then 2 or 3 years later they get divorced. If you're not really interested in having a future with somebody and y'all haven't communicated this and y'all just having fun and get married and okay, we're gonna do this, at least make sure you're happy. I mean, you're gonna make her happy, that's your wife, and you may have to find ways to make it, but just remember, keep it real with yourself. You know what I'm saying? Pay attention to what goes on in your relationship. Don't be the one to be the Debbie Downer. I'm the type, I'm always compliment you, how you doing, how your day went, did you do this or did you eat today? Anything that's important, I'm thinking about. But if it's something that you arguing with me about that's not important, that's a turnoff to me. Because guess what? I may not ate all day, but I asked you if you did.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I might be around here trying to figure out my hustle. And if I'm able to eat or not today, but I asked you, I was concerned whether you ate or not.
Right.
So it's a lot, you know what I'm saying? And the mind games that some people play can also be a factor of why people are not in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? You can't play mind games. You have to know exactly what you want. You got to be honest with that person. And y'all got to have the same idea of moving forward. If you don't have that, it's not going to work.
So let me ask, do y'all think that controlling could be a reason?
Yeah.
Controlling, yeah. There are some people that are controlling. I don't think that I don't think I'm a controlling person, because I can't speak on that because I'm not controlling. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? A grown person has as much freedom as they need. You know what I'm saying? Just respect me, and I don't have a problem.
Okay.
That was another example. I was dating a girl one time. Actually, it was our first date, and it was when if anybody's seen my picture, I have the long white little goatee, gray, and the very first day that we go on a date, I don't like that goatee. I want you to cut that. You trying to control me?
Yeah.
I immediately said, it was over. Don't worry.
Yeah.
That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
It was over.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
that's it.
What about a person who is selfish? Could that be a reason?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
definitely a turn
Yeah.
off. That's number one turn off. You
Now,
can't.
you're right. Selfishness is, but let's think. Let's give this selfish individual, why are they selfish? What is it's a reason behind people's selfishness. If it's a guy that likes a girl, he not gonna be selfish with this girl. You know what I mean? But if you're just selfish by nature, it doesn't matter what you come across. This is just who you are. And it's a lot of selfish people out there, that only think about themselves.
Yeah, I mean, if you definitely displaying it's all about you,
Yeah,
then that's going to be a reason. But I
yeah.
do feel we all need to possess, that selfish trait.
Yeah,
at
because
some point in
you
time.
matter too.
Yeah.
You know, it's okay to be a little selfish because
Exactly.
you have to have standards that you set for yourself. But selfish is on two different levels.
So it's okay to be selfish at times. So would it be that the issue would be what you're being selfish with?
With, right.
Yeah.
That's it.
That factors in most definitely.
That's definitely it. Now, if you being selfish with money or monetary issues, let's just say, for instance, it's around the holiday time, and you can't buy the gift that she wants. She want that $3,000 watch or whatever. So because you don't buy that $3,000 watch, you being selfish. But here's the thing. I might have the $3,000, but I might have 3,000 things I need to spend that money on. That's gonna keep us in this same situation we in now to where we surviving. Why not? We don't need to blow the money on something. You know what I'm saying? Now, unless we got our credit straight. Now, if our credit good, you can have that $3,000 ring. But if our credit ain't straight and I ain't got my shit together, I'm not spending $3,000 on nothing if I can't afford that. You know, and that's me being selfish. To me, if I give you that money.
That is selfish. However, I wouldn't even look at it as being selfish.
Yeah.
I would more or less say, you know, motherfucker got their priorities in order.
Priorities in order, right.
Okay.
But it does, I can see how you saying it is selfish, though, and that's a valid reason to be selfish.
To be selfish.
Now, Slash, you kind of touched on this a little earlier. You used the term, I think you said Debbie Downer.
Yeah.
But what about a person with a pessimistic personality?
They out there, man. They are cunning. They will make you think everything is good. Whatever mentality that they're thinking in the back of their mind is actually probably something to set you up for something, you know. And my thing is, I'm so upfront when it comes to relationship wise because I'm only looking for real because I'm giving real. I don't see the fake. So if your representative can be cunning enough for the first 6 months, you probably won.
Now, see, when somebody is always thinking this ain't gonna go nowhere, and they're not
It's
on
not
board.
gonna go
Every
nowhere.
time you
It's
be
a pessimistic- Yeah.
oh, this ain't going nowhere. This ain't going nowhere. And no matter what you do,
It's not going nowhere because they've already gave it. They've already put it there.
Their mind is made
Yeah.
up.
Their mind is made up.
They don't think
And
optimistically like this is gonna work. This is
That's
gonna
right.
work.
And
You know, it's a possibility it's gonna work. They don't even think like a possibility.
no.
Even they
And-
always think this ain't gonna work. They just negative.
And you
Yeah,
know
that's
what?
Negative
Debbie
Nancy.
Downer.
That's a Debbie Downer. Those are the people that need to be single for a long time because what's gonna happen is your representative gonna step out there and it's gonna be a front. And then the real you gonna come out after 6 or 7 months and you'd have married this person. And then now 2-3 years down the line, you still trying to give it a shot, but you keep seeing the same thing, and now here comes a divorce.
Yeah.
Okay. What about a poor communicator?
Yes.
Very so that is definitely a reason.
I mean, that's the number one, in my opinion, that's like the number one thing you
That's
need
it.
to have a successful relationship.
K-Money, give me an example, one or two, if you can come up with just a poor communicator. Because sometimes individuals think that a poor communicator is a person that just don't talk.
It's the one that don't listen.
That's a good point, Slash. I think it's both, one that doesn't talk and one that definitely doesn't listen. But just to, it could be something simple as just your whereabouts. You know, don't force or cause the person that you're with to think unnecessarily. And you know, when one thinks or assumes, you know, that's a broad. It leaves it very open because it could go either way,
Right.
left or right. And you were just asking about a pessimistic person. So if by chance you with that type of individual, you know, that thought is always going to be negative
Right.
in regards to your whereabouts. If by chance you come home late from work, they're thinking something negative. Well, you could avoid that by communicating and explaining where you are.
That's right. And if I'm trying to, if you're not giving me a chance,
Right.
it's even worse.
Right.
Because we may be there and I'm trying to explain it to you, but because your listening skills are not there or I'm not the person you want to listen to, this thing gonna go a whole separate way because the realness gonna kick in on both ends, and then the guy gonna be like, hold on, wait a minute.
Yeah, if
You
you're
know-
an effective communicator, though, you can eliminate a whole bunch of issues and problems
That's
in
right.
relationships.
And both parties have to know how to communicate with each other.
Talk to one another, not at
Not
one
at.
another.
Make
That's
it
right.
clear.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
had example, I had bought something from Taco Bell, had tomatoes on it. And she was like, we got tomatoes on it, but I'll eat it. And just a couple of months later, we went again. I told you I ain't like tomato.
No, that's not what
You
you
didn't
told
make
me.
it clear.
You
Yeah.
just all she said was it's
I'll
got
eat
tomatoes on it.
but
I'll eat it.
it. You should have said, hey,
I don't eat tomatoes.
like tomatoes.
Simple.
Please. It's
That's
that simple.
effective communication.
Make it clear.
Simple.
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay. What about jealousy?
it's there in relationships too.
It got to be I'd say it's got to be acute jealousy. It's got to be that jealousy that you show you care.
Yeah,
because if you show no jealousy, then I'm be like, oh well, shit, she don't give a damn about me.
Agree.
Yeah.
What you was gonna say, Caitlin? Jealousy
it just shows that you do care. I think jealousy is good in relationships, just not overwhelming jealousy.
Yeah.
Or overbearing jealousy.
Crazy
stalking
jealousy.
them. Yeah.
Crazy
Yeah,
jealousy.
That toxic shit.
Yeah, nobody got time for that.
Violent jealousy.
Yeah.
Nobody got time for no fighting and all that old unnecessary stuff. That's way out of there.
Right.
Okay, so we've named several reasons as to why a man or a woman can't find that specific someone. And it could be a number of things as to why. But here's something to also consider. Although beauty is in the eye of the beholder, what if you're just an ugly motherfucker?
Hey, they need love too.
Yeah, it's somebody out there for everybody.
Everybody need love, man.
Okay. So with that being said, man, I'm going to bring it to a close. So check this out. There are a couple of definitions to define damaged goods. And one of them is someone that is no longer considered good, useful, or suitable because of something that has happened to them or that they have done. Now, with that being said, some damaged goods can be repaired, but first, the damage has to be assessed to determine if it's repairable. Admitting and accepting that you are damaged or you may have been damaged is the assessment. The repairing can come from yourself and or assistance from a family member, a trusting friend, a pastor, a life coach, a counselor, and or a psychiatrist. So, look within. Be honest with yourself and ask yourself, am I damaged goods? If the answer is yes, start repairing and preparing for that special someone. This concludes another dope episode. Tune in tomorrow for Think Thursday. Don't forget to follow us on X, formerly known as Twitter, at 52 Scott Podcast, on Instagram and Facebook, the 52 Scott Podcast. And for all my YouTubers, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Remember, the only way we grow is if you let them know.